Have you ever wondered why your mornings often start with chest tightness, sticky mucus, and persistent coughing? For many older adults, this isn't just a minor annoyance, it becomes a daily routine. Every morning they wake up feeling like their throat is coated in mucus, and it takes a while before they can feel comfortable again. Most people assume it's probably just old age or maybe it's leftover from a cold I had. But the truth might be more serious than you think. In reality, waking up and coughing up mucus every morning may be a silent warning signal your body is trying to send. And if you ignore it or treat it the wrong way, you might actually be making things worse day by day. In today's video, we'll uncover 5 of the most common reasons older adults experience chronic morning mucus and coughing. These aren't vague guesses. They are medically backed causes, ones most people have never even heard of. And the best part is, once you understand the causes, you'll know exactly what to change, so you can start your mornings feeling lighter and healthier. Starting today, no waiting required. Whether you're 55 or 85, if you're tired of battling mucus and coughing every morning, this video is for you. Even if you personally don't deal with it, chances are someone close to you is silently struggling with the same issue. So don't miss out. What you're about to learn may not only explain something you've always thought was just normal, but also give you a real solution to finally fix it. Let's begin with the first cause, a sneaky culprit that often gets overlooked: post-nasal drip due to aging sinuses. As we age, the mucous membranes inside our nose gradually dry out. The tiny hairs called cilia that once swept away dust and bacteria become less effective. As a result, instead of draining out naturally, mucus begins to drip down the back of the throat. That's why so many older adults wake up each morning feeling like something is stuck deep in their throat. Post-nasal drip might sound harmless, but the experience is anything but pleasant. Imagine waking up with a tickle or blockage in your throat. You cough, swallow, maybe even sniffle, but the irritation doesn't go away. For some people, this leads to persistent dry coughing. For others, it feels like trying to clear something from your throat that just won't come out. What's even more confusing is that this mucus doesn't behave like the kind you get from a cold or flu. It doesn't go away in a few days. In fact, it can linger for months or even years. And many seniors eventually resign themselves to it, thinking, well, I'm just getting older. But here's the truth: while age does play a role, you still have the power to make a change. The things that make post-nasal drip worse are often very ordinary: wintertime heating systems, dry bedroom air, or even silent acid reflux that happens while you sleep. Just by adding a humidifier or slightly elevating your head during a sleep, many people notice a significant difference after only a few nights. These small adjustments might just be the secret to finally getting rid of that annoying morning mucus. But the issue doesn't stop at the physical level, it also affects you emotionally. When your morning starts not with a warm cup of coffee, but with sniffing, coughing, and clearing your throat, the joy of a new day can quickly fade. You might feel awkward in social situations, embarrassed to constantly apologize for your coughing. Some people even begin to skip social gatherings or avoid meeting friends altogether, simply because they're afraid of being that person again, the one with the persistent cough disrupting the moment. And deeper than that lies an emotional toll that few talk about. When your body keeps producing uncomfortable, sticky, and exhausting symptoms, you may begin to feel ashamed of yourself. No one mentions it, no one admits it, but the feeling is there, making each morning feel heavier and harder to face. Yet you deserve a better start to your day, one that feels light, clear, and comfortable. Ask yourself, could you be dealing with post-nasal drip? Is the air in your room too dry? Could the nasal spray you're using be making things worse? Try observing your environment, your nighttime habits, even your diet. Sometimes just a few small adjustments can help you wake up feeling refreshed and at ease again. You might be surprised to learn that just a few simple changes in your morning routine can make a big difference. Something as small as sipping a warm glass of lemon water right after waking up, or maintaining the right level of humidity in your bedroom, can significantly soothe your throat and reduce mucus buildup. But don't stop there. The second major cause of persistent morning mucus comes from a silent but common culprit, one that's often overlooked: entirely hidden acid reflux. It may sound strange, but the mucus you keep coughing up each morning might not be coming from your lungs or nose. It could be coming from your stomach. This condition, known as silent reflux, is actually one of the most common causes of chronic mucus in people over 60. Unlike classic acid reflux that causes burning in your chest, silent reflux is much sneakier. There's no spicy meal, no heavy greasy food, but you still feel something stuck in your throat. While you sleep, small amounts of stomach acid can quietly creep up into your throat and irritate the lining. Your voice box may become slightly inflamed, prompting your body to produce mucus as a defense, like a firefighter spraying water to cool down a flame. You wake up with a tight, congested feeling in your throat, an urge to cough or clear your throat without understanding why. You may notice your voice sounds hoarse in the morning, or feel a lump or tightness in your throat. Some people even think they're developing allergies. But in reality, your body is quietly trying to heal a small injury caused by acid that sneaked up while you were sleeping. As we age, this kind of reflux becomes more common. The esophageal valve, which is supposed to prevent stomach acid from rising, tends to weaken over time. When you lie flat at night, gravity no longer helps keep acid in place. And so night after night, the acid climbs silently into your throat and you don't even realize it. I once met a woman named Teresa, 68 years old, who believed she had chronic bronchitis. For months, she coughed up mucus every single morning. She saw doctors, took cough medicine, used nasal sprays, but nothing worked. Until finally a doctor discovered that the real cause wasn't her lungs, it was silent reflux. When Teresa's doctor ran tests, everything came back normal. No infection, no lung issues. And then with one simple change, sleeping with her upper body slightly elevated and avoiding food within 3 hours of bedtime, the mucus vanished completely. No medications, no sprays, just a better understanding of what was truly going on. But here's the part people rarely talk about: the emotional side of it. When your body keeps reacting in ways you don't understand, it can feel incredibly discouraging. You're eating well, staying warm, getting rest, and yet every morning still starts with mucus and coughing. The worst part, people around you don't get it. They think it's just what happens with age. Eventually you stop explaining, you stop asking, and slowly you stop expecting it to get better. You stop sharing, you stop looking for solutions, and before you even realize it, you stop hoping things will get better. But you deserve to live more comfortably. If you see yourself in this story, try a few small but effective changes. Raise the head of your bed by about 4 to 6 inches. Avoid eating late at night, especially acidic foods like tomatoes, oranges, or citrus. After dinner, skip the heavy desserts and instead sip on a warm cup of ginger tea. It helps with digestion and soothes the throat. And most importantly, talk to your doctor not just about heartburn, but about the possibility of silent reflux. Because sometimes the solution isn't more medication, it's smarter habits and lifestyle changes. If you're still watching this video and finding the information helpful, please comment the number 2 below to let us know you're here and following along with the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you won't miss our upcoming videos. Your support is what keeps us going, helping us continue to share useful knowledge and inspire you every single day. Now let's move on to the third cause: dry indoor air. Many people think mucus buildup only happens when it's humid outside or when you're sick. But in reality, it's often the opposite. When the air is too dry, your body tends to produce more mucus to protect itself. And that's exactly what's happening in many seniors' homes. In winter, the heating system is always on. In summer, the air conditioner runs all day. Both of these strip the moisture out of the air, leaving your nasal passages and throat dry and irritated, which triggers your body to make even more mucus just to stay hydrated. When the air around you becomes dry, your body reacts in the only way it knows how to defend itself, by producing mucus. Sounds ironic, doesn't it? We usually assume dry air leads to a dry nose and throat, but the truth is, when your airways dry out, the delicate lining inside your nose and throat becomes irritated like a tiny burn from the inside. Your body immediately steps in to protect and heal by creating more mucus to soothe the inflammation, keep things moist and trap dust or harmful particles. If you spend hours in that kind of air, especially overnight, you are much more likely to wake up feeling congested, needing to clear your throat, or coughing up sticky mucus. I remember a man named Walter, 72 years old, who dealt with thick morning mucus for over a year. He tried allergy medication, cut out dairy, even switched his toothpaste thinking it might be causing a reaction. But nothing worked. The mucus kept coming. Then one winter, his daughter gave him a humidifier to use in his bedroom. In just 1 week, his mucus was cut in half. 2 weeks later, it was completely gone. No medicine, no dietary changes, just a bit more moisture in the air. That's why dry air is the invisible enemy for older adults. It has no smell. You can't see it. You don't feel it right away. But your body does, and it fights back the only way it can, by producing more mucus. As we age, our body's natural ability to stay hydrated weakens. The mucous membranes in our nose and throat thin out. Our skin dries faster. Our overall hydration levels drop. On top of that, many seniors take medications like blood pressure pills, diuretics, or antihistamines, all of which have side effects that dry out the body from within. So what's the result? A perfect storm for thick, sticky mucus that's hard to clear. From an emotional standpoint, this kind of condition can be incredibly frustrating. You go to bed feeling fine, no strange foods, no cold or flu, yet you wake up with a blocked throat, needing to cough or spit out mucus, feeling uncomfortable and self-conscious. Some people even skip breakfast with their family or cancel morning plans simply because they don't want to sit through the embarrassment of constant coughing. Living with the feeling of a throat full of mucus every morning isn't just physically uncomfortable, it slowly wears on your emotional well-being too. Many people start avoiding social gatherings or even hesitate to answer the phone, afraid they'll end up coughing or having to apologize for the strange sounds. And what's most unfortunate is that while many look for complicated treatments, the solution sometimes sits quietly in a small plastic box on a pharmacy shelf, a humidifier. If you often wake up with a dry, sticky throat and thick mucus for no apparent reason, try taking a closer look at your sleep environment. Do you use a humidifier at night? Do you place a bowl of water near the heater or air vent to increase humidity? Do you drink water before going to bed and after waking up? These changes don't cost much, but they can make a big difference. When your body receives the right support, it no longer needs to defend itself by overproducing mucus, and you'll feel lighter and clearer in the morning. Now let's move on to the fourth cause, which also happens to be one of the most overlooked: silent acid reflux. This is a condition many older adults never even consider. When most people think of acid reflux, they imagine that burning sensation in the chest after a heavy meal. But silent reflux is different. It doesn't cause pain, and it doesn't make you uncomfortable right away. That's what makes it so easy to miss. While you're peacefully sleeping at night, stomach acid can silently creep up into your esophagus and throat. You may not feel a thing, but the delicate lining in that area gets irritated and inflamed. So what does your body do? It immediately produces mucus as a protective layer to coat and soothe the irritated tissues. The mucus doesn't show up because you're sick. It's your body's way of neutralizing the acid and healing the inflammation. That's why you wake up with a clogged feeling in your throat, a constant urge to cough or clear your throat without knowing what's really causing it. And here's the more serious issue. Most seniors assume this is simply part of aging or maybe a mild allergy, so they never treat the root cause. They live with the discomfort, unaware that simple habits like elevating the head of the bed or avoiding late-night meals could actually fix the problem at its source. Silent reflux is especially common in people over 60. As we get older, the muscle that's supposed to keep stomach acid in place, called the lower esophageal sphincter, starts to weaken. That means acid has a much easier time slipping past the barrier and moving up into the throat, especially when we become more sedentary or eat dinner too close to bedtime. I once met a woman named Helen, 68 years old, who told me she was clearing her throat nearly 50 times a day. She'd been to ear, nose, and throat doctors. She tried allergy medication. She thought maybe it was a lingering cold, but it wasn't until someone asked her specific questions about her nighttime routine, like eating late, lying down right after meals, or waking up with a hoarse voice, that things started to make sense. Once she began eating dinner earlier, raising the head of her bed, and avoiding trigger foods like tomatoes and chocolate, the thick morning mucus almost completely disappeared. Emotionally silent reflux takes a bigger toll than most people realize. Because there's no pain or burning, people don't usually think it's a digestive issue. Instead, they feel confused, frustrated, like something is always off. They don't understand why their voice sounds hoarse or congested, like they have caught a cold that never goes away. Some even fear they might have throat cancer or a chronic infection. And many begin avoiding conversations, coughing mid-sentence, constantly clearing their throat, until they eventually pull back and isolate themselves. But once you understand the true cause, you take back control. This isn't just age. This is a very real, purposeful response from your body to a hidden irritant. And with just a few simple changes to your daily routine, you can help your throat breathe easier again. Let's start with the simple thing. Raise your pillow so you're not lying completely flat. Avoid eating late dinners, especially acidic, spicy, or greasy foods. Leave at least 3 hours between your last meal and bedtime. And if you find yourself coughing up mucus every morning, even though you are not sick, not allergic, and your throat doesn't feel dry, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what time did I have dinner? Did I lie down right after eating? Did I eat chocolate tomatoes or anything spicy last night? Don't underestimate these small habits. They could be the key to freeing yourself from that discomfort every morning. Sometimes the biggest issues don't come from what we can feel, but from what we can't. If you're still watching and found this helpful, comment the number 4 below to let me know you're still with us. And if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Your support is what keeps us going, helping us share practical, helpful, and inspiring information every single day. Now let's talk about cause 5 dry air and poor indoor humidity, an invisible culprit most people don't even realize is affecting them. The air you breathe, especially in the place where you spend most of your time, your home, might be quietly working against your lungs, your throat, and your ability to breathe comfortably. One of the most common but overlooked reasons seniors find themselves coughing and clearing mucus every day is dry indoor air. It might sound harmless, but when the air lacks proper moisture, your respiratory system reacts, and not in a good way. As we age, the mucous membranes lining our nose, throat, and lungs become thinner and more sensitive. Our body's natural ability to retain moisture also declines. When the surrounding air is dry, your body tries to compensate by producing extra mucus to protect these delicate areas from drying and cracking. But instead of helping, this often leads to nasal congestion, a mucus-filled throat, and that constant urge to clear it. That's why so many older adults constantly sniffle, cough, or deal with thick mucus, especially in winter when the heater is on, or in summer when the air conditioner is running all day long. I remember visiting an old friend named Bob, a retired school principal nearing 80. Every morning he sat by the window with a cup of coffee and a box of tissues beside him. Right on cue, he'd start coughing, clearing his throat, and wiping his nose, a daily ritual he'd grown used to. At first, he thought it was just part of aging, maybe due to allergies or the weather. But something interesting happened. Every time he traveled to a more humid climate, his coughing and mucus almost completely disappeared. No medicine, no special diet, just better air. One time, Bob visited his daughter in Florida, and just like that, the persistent morning cough was gone. It turned out the home he had lived in for years was unknowingly making him feel worse. The air inside was simply too dry. So Bob added a small humidifier in his bedroom and another one in the living room. The result, instead of coughing over 30 times every morning, he was down to just 1 or 2 light throat clears. A small, simple change made a huge difference. Dry air doesn't just make you uncomfortable, it also affects how mucus behaves in your body. Instead of being thin and easy to clear, mucus becomes thick and sticky. It clings to your throat, settles in your lungs, and becomes harder to get rid of. This doesn't just make you feel congested, it also increases your risk of respiratory infections. Thick mucus can trap bacteria and dust, turning your throat into a perfect breeding ground for illness. And here's the thing, many older adults are living in this exact environment without even realizing it. In the winter, heaters run non-stop. In the summer, air conditioners are always on. Both systems strip moisture from the air. Add closed windows, constantly running fans, and poor airflow, and you've got the perfect conditions for mucus buildup and chronic throat irritation all year round. What seems like a cozy, familiar home might actually be making things harder for your body every day. And the impact isn't just physical. The emotional toll is just as real. Many people feel exhausted or embarrassed by constant coughing or throat clearing, especially during conversations. Some avoid making phone calls, skip meetings or social events, worried others will think something's seriously wrong. But here's the good news. The solution isn't complicated or expensive. Start by focusing on the air quality around you. Try a good quality humidifier. Drink water regularly. Add some indoor plants. Certain ones even help release moisture naturally. Open windows now and then to let fresh air circulate. Sometimes that alone can help you breathe easier each morning. You don't need fancy machines or complex treatments. Just a few thoughtful changes can lead to long-lasting comfort and health. If you find yourself coughing every morning or clearing your throat more than you'd like, take a moment to look around your home. Notice how the air feels. Because sometimes what helps you feel better every day doesn't come from a pill or a prescription, it simply comes from breathing better. Take all these insights with you, not just to improve your health, but to live lighter, more peacefully, and with greater confidence every day. If you've ever felt embarrassed by your morning throat clearing, frustrated by that constant sticky feeling, or even worried that something serious might be wrong with your lungs, I want to tell you this. You are not alone. And more importantly, there is nothing broken or weak about you. So many older adults live with this discomfort, quietly believing it's just an unavoidable part of aging. But as you've seen throughout this video, every symptom has a reason. And even better, every cause has a potential solution. When you reach your 60s, 70s, or 80s, the body doesn't speak in shouts anymore, it whispers. A dry cough in the morning, a sticky feeling in your throat after dinner, or just waking up feeling a bit breathless. These aren't signs of weakness. They are the wise signals of a body that's been through decades of life and now needs a little more attention, a little more care. Everything we explored together today, from post-nasal drip, silent reflux side effects, from medication to dry air, they are all your body's way of saying, please take care of me, just a bit more. And the good news is, you absolutely can. You might have a conversation with your doctor about your medications. Elevate your head while sleeping. Add a humidifier to your bedroom. Drink more water, or adjust your dinner time routine. Whatever it is, every small step matters. But above all, I hope you leave this video with something deeper than just knowledge. You deserve to feel better. You don't have to accept discomfort as a normal part of aging. You have the right to take control, to ask questions, and to choose a life that feels lighter, healthier, and more peaceful. Thank you for being with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us what part of this video resonated with you most. What did you learn today, and how do you plan to apply it in your daily life? Your stories and comments mean the world to us. They motivate us to keep creating helpful, uplifting content for the entire community. If you found this video valuable, please remember to like, subscribe, and share it with your loved ones, especially those who may be silently struggling with the same issues. Your support is what helps us continue spreading positive, practical knowledge. We'll see you in the next video, where we'll keep listening to our bodies and learning how to live each day more fully.